Dear students, I am Rabi, Assistant Professor in the Department of English in the Government College of Engineering, Salem. Today, we are going to see about checklist. What is checklist? Checklist means checking yourselves about your performance by asking a list of questions to yourself. Okay, checking yourself. If I have to say simply, checking yourselves. As a professional students, you are all going to write an exams, attend an interview, or performing a project, or arrange a meeting or a conference. So many professional activities will be there in your life. So in order to do all those professional activities perfectly, neatly, without missing any important thing, you have to know the technique of writing checklists. Okay, so checklist means asking yourself some questions whether you have completed or not some important things, before you accomplish some very important task in your life. So in this video we are going to see seven things. First one, definition of checklist. Second one, checklist why. Third one, grammar pattern. What type of grammar patterns are used? Fourth one, structure of checklist. Fifth one, model checklist will be given to you. And sixth one, things to be avoided. Sometimes when you write checklist, a lot of things will come in. So what are all the things should be avoided? Seventh one, exercise questions. So we move on to first one, meaning of checklist. What is the meaning of checklist? Meaning of checklist means, for example, I want to say, when you apply for some course to study, for example, when you apply for an engineering degree course, in that application itself, you could have seen a series of questions asked, almost 7 to 10 questions. A paper will be given titled checklist. Okay, in that lots of very important questions will be given. For example, I say, have I taken a check for 10,000 rupees? Okay, this is the first question. And next questions, have I inserted or have I kept the Xerox copies of my transfer certificates and mark sheets? Third questions, have I kept my community certificate with applications? Okay, and next questions, and do I know at what time or when the applications, or have I kept two photocopies in these applications? So likewise, 5 or 6 questions will be given. Why those 5 questions given as a checklist? Have you noticed that? Because without those 5 things, your applications will not be valid. So that is why they have taken a risk, extra risk, to give you a checklist, so that you may not miss those 5 things and send an applications, and all your effort will be useless. So that is why, not only for the applications, in your whole lifestyle, you should know this technique of writing checklist, so that you may not miss anything, any good things in the life. So we'll come to this bulletin. A series of question is known as checklist. So you are going to write a checklist by asking questions. Second thing, a checklist ensures a systematic process of activities. Some activities, very important activities. It may be an interview, it may be an exams, it may be anything else. Okay, before that, those activities should be done systematically. So you are doing systematic activities. Third one, it is also a method of pre-planning. You check before you do or perform something else. You check yourself and plan yourself and then you move into an actions. So checklist is this is the first slide. Second one, checklist. Why you need to checklist helps students to perform their work or project completely and professionally. Since you are a professional students, in order to do all the things professionally, you need to write checklist. Definitely, even from the larger things to smaller things, you need to write checklist. Okay. Second one, students can do a project perfect job using checklist. If you want to do a perfect job using checklist, definitely, okay, you can use checklist. Third one, it helps avoiding nothing and missing nothing. Okay, you no need to avoid any good things because you pre-plan everything. Okay. Fourth one, it helps in finalizing any process. It helps in finalizing any process or activity and process will be finalized. Third future, grammar pattern. Sir, what are all the grammar pattern I have to use for this, sir? First one, checklist is written through asking questions to yourself. So automatically we can come to an understanding that WH questions cannot be used. So what type of questions can be used? It uses yes or no type questions. Okay. Yes or no type questions means what? Okay, the question will have only answer of yes or no. That's all. Okay. And what are all the tenses you can use? You can use present tense or past participle. Okay. uh, Pattern, present tense or present perfect tense or prepared. Okay. And b form will be used. B form will be singular or plural according to the subject. And b form will be there, is. Okay, is there any place to have lunch, like that. Okay, are there people to help me at the time of exams? Okay, like that. According to the subject, the b form will be formed. What is yes or no type questions? Let's see this. Yes or no type question will be answered either yes or no. Answer will not be in sentences. Yes or no type questions always starts with b form. Example, am I, or there, is it, etc. Okay. Example, is the playground ready to host an event? Okay. So this is called yes or no type questions. Then next one, structure of checklist. How a checklist should be structured. Essential things should be included in the content in order. Only you have to do essential things that cannot be missed. You know, sometimes when you do things, checklist should contain everything completely, from larger to from the best to least. But you should take more effort in order to include, essential things should be, necessarily presented. Okay. And then mandatory and obligatory things are primary. Mandatory, I told one example, no, before that. Mandatory thing, without those five things your applications will be invalid. Okay. So likewise, draw a table providing a column for serial number. You need to draw a table. Okay. In the exam perspective, in the exam point, you have to draw a table. And column for serial number and content and boxes for yes or no answers. And last one, tick the appropriate answer in the yes or no box, or you can write yes or no, or you can put a tick mark. Fifth one, this is a model, this is a pattern. See, model. Sports secretary prepares a checklist. Suppose a sports secretary is there, okay, in your college, and prepares a checklist for himself for the smooth conduct of sports day functions. You can apply this for yourself also. Suppose you need to conduct a seminar, you need to conduct a conference, you need to conduct one day program on any workshop. Suppose you have to sit quietly and you have to think what are all the things are very very important. See, this man is how he is checking himself. First, series numbers, you see the table and all that, because this is very important, because in the exam perspective they will look for all the things, okay, from A to Z. Yes or no type question, checklist, yes or no column, like that. First one, is the playground ready to host the event? See, this is written in present tense. Okay. See, B form. First B form is come. Okay. and the subject and the verb and all the things, and the question mark also should be there. Sometimes the students will miss the question mark. Okay, and then next one you have to put yes. Okay, yes or no. Sometimes you can put tick mark also. Yes, tick mark. If it is no, you can put into mark. Okay, is the playground ready to host the event? See, he is putting the mandatory thing first. Okay, that is what very very important. Mandatory thing should be in the first order. Playground is ready. Playground ready. Is the playground ready? That's very important. Okay, water, refreshments, those are all needed, but that can come last. But first one is playground. Playground is very very important for sports activity. So playground ready to the first one. Have the invitations been sent to all the invitees? He is asking questions to somebody else. Have the invitations been sent to all the invitees? And then has the chief guest for the functions been invited? Has the stage arrangements been checked and made ready with audio and video? Have the committees been formulated to carry out work? Have I prepared agenda for the functions? Is there enough refreshments for the things to be avoided? Some are the things you need to avoid it, because unavoidably or inevitably, unknowingly you may commit these mistakes. Avoid WH questions. Don't use WH questions. This is not a serious mistakes, but this is irrelevant one. Okay, this is unnecessarily you are doing this. So avoid WH questions. Grammar mistakes in tenses and past participle. Sometimes people use present tense form in the place a past participle should be used. Writing two be forms unknowingly. Example, see, sometimes students use be forms in two places in the same sentences. Okay, for example, have the participants have come near the stage. See, there are two have here. Okay, so this should be avoided. To have cannot come like this. Okay, so in the questions, have should come in the first place of the sentence. Have the participants, see here you can see the word have is added two times. The right way to say is have the participants come near the stage. Okay, so please avoid this type of questions. Some exercise questions I'll give you, please note it down and please do it for yourself. One, write it down a checklist to make your computer healthy. This type of, suppose um, if your computer should be healthy without having any problems, what kind of checklist will you prepare? Next one, imagine that you have to go to a New Delhi for an interview. Write a checklist. Suppose you have to go to an interview to New Delhi. It's not an ordinary thing. You need to be very very careful. Okay, so it's called checklist. Okay, next one, you are going to Mumbai for an industrial visit. So you will be very careful to do all these things. So for that you need to do, you are going to Mumbai for an industrial visit, write a checklist. Prepare a checklist on the economic use of electricity. Thank you very much. Thank you guys.